Hello everyone, this is Theophilus and welcome back to my channel. So, I got a t-shirt on. It's night. I'm not going to say how late it is. But I'm going to title this video, Why I'm Working More. And why you should probably consider it. Right? I'm not going to say it with 100% confidence because I'm experimenting. Right? There are things that I know are true, and there are things that I'm wanting to experience to believe to know if they're true for myself, know if it works for me. Namely, more so just I don't want to say hustle culture or Sigma male mindset, none of that, but working more, building a higher stress tolerance, dealing with your problems as a man, focusing on yourself, your testosterone, your body, your mind, your mental health, money. Arguably the most important thing for a man to have. That's the main reason I'm doing this. Some people would think that I was going to use an insulting word, but I'm not going to use that. That I'm just really doing something dumb. Because, okay, you work 40 to 50 hours a week. That's good. You make enough to pay your little bills. As a single man, renting a room and a house. That's good. But you're 24 years old. You're just now, not like you haven't made enough money to pay the bills this whole time, but you're in a place where you're kind of good. Like, you're not really panicking about the near future. Okay, that's good. So should I just work at this little job and keep having enough to pay my little bills and just be content? Sorry if you're the dryer in the background, but I have one of these. Right now I'm not working in the gym. I am working more than ever before, and I'm making a little bit more money than ever before. But I am pretty injured. I've talked about my injuries and how I'm recovering, and though I'm going to be working more than ever before, why would I be willing to put more stress on my body? Not than ever before. I've done manual labor for about 2.5 years, but with my injuries, doing jobs where all you do is walk around, pick up a tire, clean. That job is moderately difficult for me. And as I'm learning about deep stretching, I am finding the roots and the causes of some of these injuries that I've been probably carrying around for maybe even starting 10 years, you just get a little feeling in your leg, like your leg's a little stressed out. You keep playing basketball and you feel fine. You play. You not crack your ankle, you sprain your ankle, you're fine. You're young, right? But as I started getting closer to my peak of physical capability, which is going to be my late 20s, I've pushed my body way too hard to where I'm pretty injured now. I can't just get up and I could probably sprint if I needed to, but I don't sprint. I've now just gotten back to the place where I'm like light jogging, right? And I can go multiple days without stretching, and then I just do a really good, deep, intense stretch for 1 to 2 days a week. And then I'm good enough to continue working. So why would I be willing to put more stress on my body, right? I know mental health is important for a man, especially because we have to be able to solve problems. A man has to be able to be competent to get things done. And I've just been seen as competent enough to get a little raise at my job. Not much, but enough to where I'm making pretty close to the same amount of money I've ever made, to the highest amount of money I've made, which isn't very much, but it's not really good either. Okay, 3K, 4K a month, that's good for a single man who rents a room in a house. That's decent. That's good enough to make it by. But I need more money. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Building the YouTube channel, building a Skool type of community, or building any kind of community that will yield a worthy return on investment takes time, right? And I don't have really like the springboard that would launch me forward. I'm doing this all on my own, right? Other than, of course, the job, because those that have given me the job, they've given me an opportunity, right? And the people I live with, right, and my close family that have helped me and taken care of me these years. What? I had to, you could say, sell myself, right? Life is sales. I had to sell me as a person to the employer. I will do a good job if you hire me, right? I've done a decent enough job to where they say, okay, here's $1 raise, $40 a week, $160 a month, overtime, $200 a month. That's decent. That's decent. But I need more money. As a man, if I'm gonna do anything, I need more money. And I've worked some really tough jobs before. I worked a job where I was pushing like 70 hours a week, and I was making less than what I was making now. Like, I'm near making twice, working as much as I do now, nearly making twice that, working only 60 hours a week. So, yeah, I'm making more money, but the risk is harming myself too much physically or mentally. That would stop me in the long run, right? If I lose my mind and go insane, then I can't build maybe, right? If I can't bear my stress, if I start making a little bit more money, I'm not going to know what to do with that money, and I'm going to just, excuse my language, I'm going to fuck myself pretty bad. If I make a lot of money, but I injure myself to the point of critical injury, then of course that's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time that I could use to build myself even deeper and further into the future. But I currently feel trapped by circumstance. And one thing I've learned that a man can do, if he's not smart, if he's not strong, if he's not intelligent and witty, if he's not charismatic, then one thing a man can always do is a man can keep trying. A man can be stubborn in his refusal to quit and to give up. And just to kind of clarify, I'm working multiple jobs. I was questioning if I should say that, but I'll go ahead and say it. Now I am working multiple jobs. And I believe I'm ready for it. This is kind of a freestyle, so I know I'm not like pausing and editing, but I believe I'm ready for it. I've worked 70 hours a week before doing one job. I think I can work 60 hours a week doing 2 jobs. The other job was an office sales kind of job. These jobs are much more physical, right? I'm not going to reveal what the other job is yet, but it's physical. I'm moving around all day. I'm not exactly lifting things, but moving objects and doing things, right? I believe that my stress tolerance is reached a decent level to where I believe that I can do that now. I've only been doing this for 3 days so far, right? And it's nighttime and I'm tired. I was like yawning at 6 p.m. Came home, ate all that. And I just felt a burst of energy. As I was in a pretty deep meditative state. I was doing some deep healing stretching and I was doing some breathing. And I'm just remembering things. I listen to Andrew Tate. Say what you want. Right now, I don't really, excuse my language, give a fuck what you think. If you think that I shouldn't like this person, I shouldn't listen, because this man's advice, the wisdom this man has is better than most people I've heard that speak about the things that he speaks about. Like, a man can try hard. He said that's how he's made his millions. When it got hard, he just tried hard. And he didn't give up. And that's something a man can do. He can try hard and he can never give up. And I've been instilling this in myself deeply. And I need to really get back into meditation in and of itself, as far as the still breathing exercises once or twice a day, and the journaling, the going back. But another problem I'm going to add is that I'm not doing my job as well as I could. Sure, I get the job done decently enough, but a man has to be competent, right? All things are transactional for a man. I believe that. All things are transactional for a man. Yeah, like, mom and me love him and all that, but the world is not going to give you anything. No person is going to give you anything. I would argue any relationship a man has is transactional. Why? Even if that feeling is just love and kind thoughts, that person is receiving something from knowing that person or having that person in their life, right? If I work for an employer, they're not going to pay me if I don't do my job, right? So things are getting to the point where it's okay. You're decent at your job. We don't mind giving you the hours. But we need you to make us the money, essentially. And I've been thinking about things a lot, like me personally, I rarely take anything personal from anyone. Whenever I feel a feeling, even a feeling towards someone, even a feeling or a thought of anger towards someone, what a man should never do is direct that at that person. That is a very, very foolish thing to do. Unless someone has actually disrespected you and wronged you as a man, personally. If I'm dealing with customers, it doesn't matter if they're upset and they're angry. My job is to help that customer as much as I know how, right? Being not afraid of someone doesn't really, it's good, but you have to be able to work with people. You got to have empathy or a measure of sympathy when working with people, right? And I'm learning that more and more, right? And if I want to be in any position of management, I have to understand how it's done. In other words, I need to be conscious of the fact that, yes, you're confident in your ability, right? You're confident that you can do what needs to be done, but it's going to get harder for you. Life is going to get harder for you. And no one's going to hand you anything, right? gonna get a little personal, make it very quick. Mom died when I was 18. I don't have a mother. Father in and out of jail my whole life. It is what it is. I have people that have helped me. I have a place to stay. Food. Clothes on my back. I thank God for that. I thank God, and I do thank my parents, because I do believe I have decent genetics. You know. I'm glad that I have my mind, because I can work. And I need to learn how to use my mind in ways that I have not really, like multitasking, like bearing stress, like when there's pressure on you, you've got to rise to that challenge to meet it. It is what it is. That's how it is. I've been in places where usually where I go, I'm well liked and I'm decently respected. Right? Since I was maybe 19, 20, that's what it's been. You're a decent worker. We respect you. Right? But as a man, respect has to be earned no matter where you go. So I don't take it personally when people don't respect me. Right? And I need to earn respect, because respect will never be handed out to anyone. And I need to spend time studying work outside of work. It is what it is. I can have these feelings and complain about it if I want. I don't have those feelings. I'm not complaining about it. Yeah, it'll get in the way of other things, but when I'm sitting at home and I'm not deeply stretching, letting my body heal, I'm not working towards this, I'm in a relationship. I'm not working on that. I'm not talking about just being all lovey-dovey, love you, all that. Yeah, that's nice and all, but does not a man have to build a future for the woman he's with? I had these thoughts like, yeah, I want children when I'm 30. Well, when I'm 30, do I know I'm gonna have enough money in Western society, in this economy? That's a really good question. And there's something Tate says that is so brilliant. Like, anger is energy. Emotions are energy. Emotions are feedback, and emotions are energy. Energy in motion. So when you feel emotions, you can channel that energy. Sexual energy. I'm doing that. Right? I'm not gonna say a whole lot, but I've had some experience with women in sex over the past year or two. I've learned enough. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I can afford. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about time and energy. Because women are a responsibility. Right? To be more selective, to be smarter. Try to be. Of course we think with the wrong head sometimes, but being more logical with it, And wow, was I gonna talk about this? Oh yeah, I was talking about sexual energy. Yeah. If I'm not with my girlfriend and we're not, doing anything, other women are gonna be a distraction. Lust is gonna be a distraction. Yeah, I'm not really all that weak to like pornography, of course. I've watched it even a lot, I'll admit. I watched it a lot throughout the years, but I've always had times where I can put it down, get up and just focus on other things, and I was one of those times. Like, girl, I'll text you later. Text you someone, and we're in a my woman knows what I do. So, texting women 8, 9 p.m. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I not like recovering from some pretty brutal injuries? And we're not going to be working 7 days a week. And they're playing with me. Maybe you see, every now and then, but why? Why? How much of a return on investment? And I'm not, yeah, you got some experiences, you had some fun, you've learned who you are, you've learned what you like, but bro, you need more money. You need to put your energy into other places. Take that energy when you feel the feeling down there and think, right? Blood may rush there, but you can make blood rush here too. And yeah, I'm probably going to make mistakes. Yeah, I'm probably still going to slip up. Yeah, I'll probably catch the wrong chick on the wrong day. Yeah, that'll probably happen. But I need the money, and I need the mental capacity to be able to deal with any woman I'm with. So I need to get back more into meditative state. I need to continue working and learn that the excess energy I have, I guess I'm preaching to myself, can be transferred into other areas. Yeah, I have a woman by my side. That's good. Relationship that is shockingly, profoundly deep. Yeah, I'm making more money almost than I ever have. I made a little more money than I do now. Well, before my other source of income, and then my third source of income come in. Yeah, I'm making more money, but that's good, but I need to keep going. I need to go harder. I need to push harder, because I can push harder, and I know I can push harder, because I've pushed harder physically than I'm being pushed now, and I've pushed harder mentally to the point to where I feel like I'm starting to lose my mind, and I need to slow down. Right? And I know when, I know my limits. Charlie Morgan, the rest and work, bro. Look at that. Man, woman, whoever's watching, look at that. Charlie Morgan, rest, work. He categorizes rest and work into 7 categories, right? For each, rest and work. And he talks about how, hey, if you've never, say you've never, worked a hard job, worked many hours, you've never, built a business, your ability, the energy you have to be able to work is going to be a lot less than someone who's built a 6-figure business from the ground up in 3 years. You're not going to have that much energy to spend. Tate says this too. There are some people that can handle the stress of working a job, but they can't handle the stress of working 2 jobs. There are some people that can handle the stress of working that job, but there are some people that can't handle the stress of being a manager. There are some people that can handle the stress of being a manager, but they can't manage being a general district or being a part of that tight-knit, There's some people that can, and then some people that can't, right? Then there are some people that are above them that are like CEO of a company that can handle that kind of stress, and people that can't, right? But yeah, and yeah, I do believe what he says. Some men are built different. Some men have that dog in them. Yeah, absolutely, I do believe that. Yes, I do believe that. But a man that has that in him, how does he bring it out to where he can use it? How does a man build that stress tolerance? These men were like playing chess at the highest level at the age of 5. These men had fantastic father. Talking about the Tates. When I think about, okay, what did these men have that I didn't have? They had that, right? They were probably more intelligent than me. They had each other. They had that bond of brotherhood that was so close. And, you know, that's all they really had. I mean, yeah, as a man, height is important. That's true. But, bro, this is how I look at it. Outside of sports and raw combat, a man that is so overly focused on his height is a foolish man. And I'm not going to just say insecure, because we all have insecurities, of course. But, bro, max out your stats anyway. I think you could be 5 foot even and be a beast, bro. I look at Prince. Bro, Prince will steal your girl in some high heels right in front of you. Because it was Prince, man. It was 5'2". Napoleon, 5'6". I want to study Genghis Khan and Napoleon, because these were some amazing men. You think people care that Napoleon's my height, bro? Napoleon is gonna try to crush your army utterly. And if you're not ready, Napoleon's conquering your nation, bro. You better get ready. It's time for war. Yeah, he lost because he tried to, fight Russia and the whole world. But, bro, it's Napoleon. It's Napoleon. What did Charlie say, quoting Napoleon? When someone he knew died, he said, "If I have time to grieve, I have time to grieve. If I have time to mourn, I have time to mourn. But right now, this war's got to be won," or whatever he said. You don't got to be psychopathic like that, but, bro, I really don't give that much of a fuck, bro. I'm an attractive man. Yes, maybe I was blessed with good genetics. I was blessed with my mother's face. I believe that I'm attractive because of that, in part, but you gotta learn your way around women if you want to be attractive, right? Maybe some women will spend the night with you, but, bro, to keep a woman, not just keep a woman, but be that attractive man to where she'll never want to leave you, But I can digress from that point, because I study these things a lot, but I have good relationship, but y'all may see in the future, may or may not, but I'm going on a bit of a tangent, I know, but max out your stats as a man. Be Napoleon. What? Be Napoleon. Yeah, it may sound harsh or crazy, bro. Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues, shorter than me, 5'3". They were not Jordan, but they made it to the NBA. And they could get on Jordan's nerves, annoyed enough to where he shout out, "Shoot at you, midget." And he missed a shot, and he self-confidence dropped. But yeah, a man has to be competent, a man has to be resourceful, a man has to build his future, and these are things that I need to get done. Which is why I'm making a video when I was yawning at 6 p.m. and I gotta wake up in 6 hours. So yeah. To make it short, sweet, and simple, I'm a man and I'm becoming a man. I must keep going. Tate said, "You should wake up and look yourself in the mirror and say the champion returns with initiative and vengeance. If you've been slacking, blink and cure your brain." These things are very, very, very good to know. And I just want to keep them with me. So, yeah, the problems are going to keep piling up, but I'm going to keep dealing with them. And I can't give up. I can't give up. I can't put myself in that state of mind again where I even question something like giving up. I mean, I can't do that. But, yeah, thank y'all. See y'all in the next one.